You're watching EASD Live. Now, I've been on the hunt amongst the many thousands of posters at this Congress to find really intriguing bits of information to bring you. And I've certainly found that from my next guest poster. So Diane Magliana from Australia, welcome. And your poster shows that there may be, possibly, a drop in incidence of diabetes. Tell us more.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Vivian. So this was a really large labour-intensive project where we reviewed the data from 1990 to 2018 of all the studies in the world who've reported a study where they reported incidence. And we collected all this data and we extracted the incidence, the number of new cases and the denominators, and we did some modelling. And we found that, as you probably know, incidence has been going up in the last sort of 20 or 30 years. And then at some time in the 2000s, we started to see a change in the graph and a downturn, a stabilisation or even a fall in incidence from 2003 onwards.
So the prevalence, of course, is still enormous, but that drop in incidence is really interesting and intriguing. And it kind of mirrors the drop in incidence that we're seeing also perhaps in things like dementia.
Yes.
Is there a link here?
That's true. So with ageing populations and chronic disease, prevalence is always going to rise because people live longer and medical treatment is always improving. So it's really hard to use prevalence to understand the burden of an epidemic or the burden of disease for a chronic disease. So we really need to look at incidence, to look at the new cases, to understand the population at risk and how we're going with our interventions. And like Alzheimer's and heart disease, we are starting to see a change in these chronic diseases. Now, this is only one project and we can't be 100% sure this will be mirrored in other populations like low-income countries, but this is a really good sign of that our prevention activities may have finally had some traction.
You've previewed my next question, which was, why? And it would be nice to think that it was just, the prevention strategies that were working. But might anything else be at work here?
So it's not one single thing. So we think prevention may have worked, health awareness has worked, changing in our diet, how much we eat and what we eat, changing in food policy and changing in taxes like a food tax, a junk food tax or a sugar sweetened beverage tax. So all those things contribute. However, we don't know what happens in the doctor's office. We don't know whether we're less enthusiastic when we're screening for diabetes. Maybe our campaigns are being slightly different across the world than they used to be. So we haven't got a really good handle on that data. But we know it's not due to the introduction of HbA1c because we've adjusted for that in our models.
So it isn't about screening?
We're not 100% sure. Doctors may be screening less, so they're picking up less cases. And that's really hard to understand. There's really limited data on screening across the world.
Okay, so where does this research go next?
So this is one part of a 3-part project. So we've got another project where we've taken some data from about 21 countries and we've taken the data in a bespoke data collection form, so everyone's giving us the same data, the same age groups in the same way. And we're going to model that over time to see if we can confirm these results.
Fantastic. We hope you'll come back and see us again next year.
I definitely will. Thank you.
So you're watching EASD Live and we've got lots more to bring you.